saw Leah Williamson training with the rest of the squad today, which I guess is really good news. But are you able to just give us a bit of an update into kind of where she is at the moment, how close she is to actually making one of the matchday squads?
Yeah, so you seeing her today in training with us, that's the progress she's making. So she's been more and more involved with the team and team training, which is really, really positive. She feels good. She has a couple of steps to take still, and we expect maybe somewhere in December, somewhere in the next block, we might see her again if everything goes to plan. She's doing well at the moment.
Just confirm, you think December will be the time when she might be able to be ready to actually be part of a matchday squad?
Yeah, it's always hard to give exact dates and exact times, but we hope before Christmas we would see her on the pitch again. Yeah.
Kim Little, do you have an update on how she's going on?
Yeah, she's progressing well as well. But we don't think we see her this block on the pitch. She's working really hard. I think she did her first running session today, but that will also be after the international break.
Anything else to update on in terms of team news, but just before the Tottenham game?
No, everyone came out of the Madrid game, the Bayern game in a good way, so everyone seems fine.
Just on Leah, how much of a boost is it for the players, the rest of the players, to sort of have her training with the group and kind of knowing that she's, I know you can't put an exact date on it, but that she is now quite close to kind of joining the matchday squads?
Yeah, really good. Really good, because we all see how hard she's worked, and she's a player with so much quality, and you see it straight away when she joined the positional game today, and the way she finds passes, so good. So she looks really good, and of course we've missed her as a leader as well. She brings a lot of presence, composure, solutions to the team. So yeah, it will be really good to get her back.
It was such an odd game, or an odd half against Bayern. We're kind of missing someone like that, like Leah, who not just defensively, but you're talking about the kind of composure and kind of when to find the right pass. Is a character like that, a player like that, someone who'd be really helpful, maybe when you concede the first goal, not necessarily kind of the other two. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, of course we wish her to play for us at the moment, because like I just said, she's such a good leader. She understands the game so well. She communicates things really well on the pitch. She understands momentum, and I think she has the tools to make the shifts and communicate it to the team, get the team aligned on where we're at and what we need to do. So she's really good from that perspective. At the same time, we have a lot of leaders and a lot of players with a lot of experience on the pitch against Bayern as well. So yeah, of course we missed her, but we still have good leadership on the pitch.
Can you kind of sum up just how the last week's been? Because it's been two really interesting games. The Chelsea game, it kind of felt like, I guess in your opinion, stuff was taken out of your hands in terms of the decisions. The Bayern Munich game, I'm sure that the team kind of takes more responsibility for what happened, but just because of the kind of magnitude of both games in the title race and in the Champions League, how are you feeling? Where's the squad at just after the last week or so?
I think if we look at where the squad was at after Chelsea, just positive, of course, very disappointed, but there was a real belief, and there was a lot of good things in our performance. They turn that around in a good way. I think you see it the first half against Bayern. I think we do a lot of really, really good things. But then, of course, we're not happy with the second half. How we don't manage that second half. So that's not good enough. So that's really disappointing. And we've acknowledged that as a collective. So everyone involved and everyone is taking responsibility. So that's good. And actually, we had a really good session out on the pitch today with lots of energy. So the players will use this as fuel going into the North London derby.
Is it something now that in terms of a second half like that against Bayern, do the players kind of have to have their own meeting almost and take kind of responsibility for what happens in such a short space of time there?
I think what's been strong in our environment is the ownership and accountability piece, and I think if you look at this was the first day we travelled yesterday. This was the first day to actually meet each other and reflect and close the loop on that game and learn from it. And if I look at how that meeting went, it was good. Everyone was taking responsibility, and that's all we can do. And so that was both staff and players in the same room, and that's a safe space. We do everything together, and we want to be aligned on everything. So that was a really good meeting today.
After the Chelsea game, obviously we know the talking points of the two goals that got disallowed. You mentioned VAR kind of briefly in the post-match interview that you did. I just wonder, a few days on, if I could ask you, what are your kind of general feelings on VAR coming into the WSL, coming into the women's game? Do you ever have conversations with the club about maybe how close it is? Because I know obviously it will be a decision that requires a lot of finance, a lot of planning, etc. for the whole league. I don't know, just like a week on, do you have any more kind of thoughts or anything you can share with us just about where you see it going or how close you think it is to coming in?
Well, I know that the club is driving things forward on all aspects, and this is one of them. And it's good, I think, that we're looking at how is the game growing and how does everything have to grow with it. Because of course you don't want a situation where the referees are booed off the pitch. No one wants that, and they're also human beings, and so that's not a situation you want. So I think the league is doing everything, and I know the club is pushing everything to make things better. From a VAR perspective, it's like you said, it needs to be made possible on all grounds, and there's finances included, there's education included. It's quite a big piece. But what I want, if I just say what I would want with the game, is just decisions as much as possible, because there's more and more at stake also in the WSL, and I'm sure that I know the club is pushing and the league is pushing to move that forward as well.
With those, like, you want the just decisions, do you almost think that, I don't know, the ones on the weekend, were they ones that you just really thought the referees could have done with help, or do you think they should have kind of got it right on the day, or what's your balance on that one?
Yeah, I think it would have helped for them, because if you look at those offside moments, it's so small margins. It's really hard to see in the moment when you're moving yourself. The players are moving, the ball is moving. It's really hard to see in the moment. So I definitely think having the opportunity to watch it back on video and make a decision would have helped. Yeah.
Just finally from me, obviously the North London derby of the weekend, level on points. It feels like, I don't know, is it kind of the biggest North London derby that you've been involved in your time here?
I think they're all big. They're big for us. They're big for the players. They're big for the fans as well. So now it's another big one. Of course, I was involved the away game last year, and we really look forward to this one because it's an important one for us, for the fans, and we know they will show up, and we're so grateful that they are with us and supporting us through all times, and we're going to do our very, very best for the fans as well. Yeah, no, they play different. I think they have some new players. Players are performing well. They're more aggressive in the way they play. They go high. They go player for player. They want to win balls in the opposition half, and that's different from what they did last year. So they've been performing really well. So we have to be really smart with how we manage the game and what spaces we try to attack in the game. But yeah, if I look at how the team came back in today, we're full of energy and believe going into the next one. Thanks.
Thanks so much. We're coming through to the call now with Rose.
Hi, Renee. What do you think was the main issue on Wednesday?
Well, I don't think there's big issues in the first half. I think we dominate and we control a lot of parts of the game. But then the second half, they come out strong. They have to. It's 2-0 to us. They are 2-0 down. They're playing at home at the Allianz Arena. They need to do something. So they come out differently. And 2-0 is a dangerous score, I think, because one goal and they're back in. So we also reflect back and think, how could we have been more ruthless in the first half? But they change things. I think their structure changes, they stack numbers high and they start to play it in behind or in front of our back line, so it becomes more of a long ball, second ball game. They also make some personnel changes. I think Pernille Harder comes in and has a really positive impact for them. She's really intelligent for spaces. So they change the game. They had to do something different. And like I said in the post-game interview, we don't manage that well enough as a collective, the way the game changes. So I think they create their momentum, and we didn't stop their momentum well enough. So yeah, that's where we take our responsibility, because we wanted to do and should have done better in that second half.
And like you said just now, Spurs are pressing higher this season. Earlier this season, there was some issues playing out from the back. And are you confident enough that these problems have been solved ahead of this Spurs game?
I think if you do it well, and I think we've developed our options and our cohesion as a team as well in when teams press us high. So we have a couple of different strategies, but it's always hard. It's a high risk, high reward game for both teams, and if the game is played like that. But I think we have a couple of solutions. Like I said, we've developed that across the season now, and it's about how do you not play into that pressure. So that's going to be key for us in the weekend.
And lastly, from me, I was looking at some stats this morning, and I saw that you have a higher number of passes per sequence, and went from second in the league last season to completed long passes to ninth. What do you think is behind that development? Is it as simple as Leah Williamson missing? Because I can't imagine it's just that.
Of course, that's one of Leah's big qualities, her progressive passing, longer passing, and also the passes in the air on two players or in behind into spaces. So I think the pressure we're under with the different way that teams press now makes it that maybe the success rate of the pass itself might be lower, but then it also becomes more about the second ball game and what you do in that second phase underneath. So I think it's just the way the game is played in the WSL at the moment, how teams press differently. But interesting stat. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, and good luck on the weekend.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tim.
Hi Renee, I've asked you a variation of this question before. I appreciate losing players like Leah and Kim from the spine of the team changes things, but Bayern and Chelsea are teams who have big transitional threat. And I wondered how much of a concern it is for you and how much you've looked at this. But not just the goals, but a lot of the shots Chelsea and Bayern have kind of come from transitions, come from running through the middle of the pitch again, and particularly without Kim there, I wondered how much of a talking point that's been for you and the staff over the last couple of days.
Yeah, of course we miss Kim because she's always that presence in front of the back line, and she has so much ability to cover ground and reads things so well, both in and out of possession. So we've been missing her because we've built a lot of things around her on the pitch. And we've been looking at what can we do structurally out of possession to make sure that space isn't too open for the opposition. And then it's of course also the personnel question, like what player is the player that plays that role for us when Kim isn't on the pitch.
And that's a nice one for my follow-up as well, in terms of I heard over the summer there were a couple of midfielders looked at who didn't end up at the club. I know you won't comment on that, so I won't ask you about that. But I think a lot of fans have questions about Leah Williamson leaving and perhaps a similar player not coming in, and I wonder whether that's something you'll look at in January.
We have a fantastic recruitment team, and of course we're in a really good position as well, because we're a very attractive club. I think a club that pioneers and is world leading in a lot of things. So now we are always looking to build for the here and now and the future, and looking at where we need to strengthen, where we want to strengthen, and how we build moving forward. That's always happening in the background in several positions at the moment.
Thanks, Renee. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday.
Thanks, Tim. Izzy?
Hi Renee, hope you're well. I just wanted to ask about this team dealing with pressure, because I feel like last season you guys thrived really well under pressure and got these kind of huge score lines across loads of different games. Is this something you think you can lean on now, especially with a must-win derby this weekend and maybe needing a few more points in that Champions League phase?
Yeah, no, but that's in this squad and in the individuals as well. They've done this and they've shown so much resilience and strength. So they know what they can do, what they can achieve. So that's definitely that's within our foundation and in the pillars that we have that belief. So that's always good that when things become harder or you're not as successful as you want, that you always have that in the back of your head, knowing that we can do it. So that's of course helpful.
Perfect. Thank you. See you on Sunday.
See you Sunday.
Thanks, Izzy. Max?
Hi, Renee. So you've already had a couple of questions about sort of the impact of losing Leah, especially like earlier in the season with some of the issues you mentioned with the passing. As Kim said just there, Kim a big loss. And I was just wondering, are you learning a lot this season in terms of how you have to be a bit more almost adaptable with your squad, because it feels like you're losing these key pillars of the team and sort of having to find solutions as you go. And I was just wondering, is that almost like a game-by-game learning process at this point?
Well, but that's football. Anything can happen. So you can't just build off of players because you don't know. And that's why we have this squad, and we have so much quality in the squad. And if you see how so many individuals have been contributing to us, and I'm not saying only on match day and minutes on match day, but everything they do to help the team move forward. And I think we have a really, really strong squad. So, but of course, like I just said, of course we miss Leah and Kim. They are our captains. They understand the club through and through. They have a big drive of building a legacy and at the end of their career, leaving this place in a better place. And so and then that's everything off the pitch. On the pitch, they bring us so much composure and leadership. So of course we miss those players, but we also have a squad to, if things like that happen, that we can deal with it.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks.
Thanks, Max. Helen?
I'm muting. Sorry, I couldn't get my mute button to work. Hi Renee. So mine isn't about pressure or anything else, but I don't know if you read, Manuel Pellegrini made a suggestion of a big rule change in the last few days about once you get through midfield, you can't go back, you can't keep passing back. He thinks that should be brought in football. And I've been talking to head coaches all week. You're the 8th person I've talked to. Jocelyn Pressure this morning was quite interesting on this, because obviously, like you and Sonia, he agrees about maybe a version of VAR coming in before you get the full-blown thing. But I wondered if you could wave a magic wand, is there some sort of rule or something about the way the game is that you would change? It can be anything at all.
Oh, okay. I have a couple probably, if you would have given me a little heads up. Can I text you?
Of course you can, you know you can. But basically Jocelyn's were to do with fairness.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I'm justice in the game, and I'm keeping it entertaining because it reaches out to so many people. So the game needs to stay entertaining. So whatever we need to do from a rule book perspective, anything that helps keep the game moving, fast, not too many stoppages, interesting, so goals are being scored, all those things. If that can stay and even be pushed, then I think that's good, because that's for the greater good for everyone involved. But then justice is an important one as well. Yeah.
Do you think that Pellegrini's idea would work then?
Sorry, what was his idea? So if you
So basically, once the ball
if you
goes
beat in
over the
midfield,
halfway
you have to
line,
go forward. Okay.
You can't go back into the halfway
Yeah.
line, basically. So the idea would be more attacking. So it would change the way people set up, I guess.
Interesting. There's a lot of things you can learn from other sports. Interesting. I wouldn't say so, because I think that takes away a lot of elements in the game. But it's an interesting one.
Jocelyn said the same. Learn from other sports like rugby, basically.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good.
Thanks, Helen.
Okay. Well, you can text me the answer.
Yeah. I will. Thank you.
And we'll come to BBC London last with Kasewa.
Hi Renee, hope you're well. Momentum often swings quickly in derbies. How important is it to stay composed, the players stay composed if the game doesn't go for Arsenal early on?
Yeah, I think that there was a lot of learnings in the Bayern game because they start to stack numbers. It's long ball, second ball, it's duels, it's chaotic. They rotate, and then within that, keep your own structure and keep your own head cool and accepting spells of opposition momentum. I think that's what we did really well last year. I think the perfect example is the Champions League final against Barcelona, where we knew it, that we had to suffer, but we were accepting it and kept our structure really well. So that's going to be important. And then a big one is as well to make sure that we create the momentum for ourselves.
Thank you. Finally, the fans make such a difference. How much are you counting on their energy this weekend?
Always, always, and yeah, like I said, they are amazing, and they get us through moments, and I know it's hard for them sometimes when we don't get the wins or the performances, and I know that, and it hurts. So we're gonna do everything to give everything back to the fans because they're always there for us.